Hi, everybody. Good morning. So we're going to work on virtual business while the kids are going to be at their DECA competition today. So we've chosen in virtual business, there are several different things you can do. But for all of you today, we're going to have you work on virtual business fashion. You're going to be able to see that label that is going to be right here. So what we need to do today is we need to get you logged into virtual business and then also a quick tutorial on how you get started. Once we get you logged in, virtual business is going to take you through step by step, and then in each of the little sections, it's going to have a chance where after you learn step by step that you actually can basically try it on your own. So it goes through the steps, and then when we said try it on your own, in virtual business, the language they use is called Run the Sim. So the very first thing that we've got to do is we've got to make sure that you have a virtual business account set up. So what you're going to do is you want to come to the website knowledgematters.com. You can go ahead and pause this very quickly if you need to see how that's spelled. So knowledgematters.com. When we get inside of Knowledge Matters, we need to make sure that you have an account. So come on over to the right and let's try to get signed in. If you've ever had a business class before, you probably do have an account, and you may have used one of your school passwords to create that account. So again, feel free to go ahead and pause this video so you can try to get signed in. If you have never had a business class before and you've never used this, you're just going to create a new account. We always recommend for your new account that you use your school email and just whatever your school password is at this time. Why don't you go ahead and pause the video? That way you can get in and take a look and make sure that we get you registered. All right, so once you get registered, it's going to ask you about enrolling in a course. Let me flip back over here so you can see what our course key actually is. So right now what we're looking at is you're all going to be into the same course key. Right here in the top right-hand corner where the mouse is moving, this is going to be your course key for all of you for virtual business fashion. You can see that it's F as in Fred, T as in Tom, 5, C as in Candy, another C as in Candy, and the number 9. So go ahead and take a second and enter that course key, and it's going to put you directly into our class. Go ahead and pause the video if you need another second so that you can focus on that course key. Okay, very good. So now we're ready to get started. So virtual business has a tricky little thing that we've got to do. You're going to notice that it's got your lessons for you right here. Notice that it says simulation at the top, and then we have these different lessons called trend research, design, and also buying. All of these things are about the fashion industry, but we have to do a little bit of a trick on it first. So what we have to do with the simulation, we're not actually going to complete it unless you would like to, but we actually have to view the tutorial and kind of trick it and let it know like, okay, I went into the tutorial, I'm good to go, and now we can get started. If you are a student that would like to go through the tutorial on your own, you're more than welcome. But once you do that, you're gonna notice that now during trend research, you're gonna see that your reading quiz, and also your Run Sim are now going to be available for you. They were available for me the entire time because I'm logged in as an instructor. You were not able to see them. So I'm gonna start out with trend research, and I have to select reading first. When I select reading, what it's going to give me, it kind of gives me a little bit of an article on what trend research is. So I'm going to come in here, I'm going to skim down through this, read the information that's given to me. And then I can actually minimize that or leave that up, because what I'm going to do next is I need to do my reading quiz. You're going to now see underneath of trend research that reading quiz is going to pop up for you. When that reading quiz pops up for you, what I'm going to be able to do is actually treat that more like a worksheet than a quiz, and I can then flip back and forth between my quiz and also my reading to be able to kind of use that, like we said, as a worksheet instead of read, close it out, and then a quiz. You need to get an 80% on this quiz. If you do not get an 80%, you're more than welcome to take it over a few times so that you can get up to an 80 before you move on. And now we're ready for our run simulation. So I'm going to come down, again, trend research, and notice that my run sim is going to be turned on for me. So I can now go ahead and select that. Okay, very good. So when this pops up for me, you're going to be able to see your whole screen. Double check, notice that you're in trend research. You can move it around a little bit. You can kind of see that you've got your different action items right over here on the right-hand side. So right now, when it talks about running the sim, notice that it says steps 1 through 9 in the top left-hand corner, and then it's basically going to give you some instructions right here. So I notice that it says, I'm going to go ahead and read this on my own. You can pause this for a second. Spotting the hot trends earlier, it's key to the success of any fashion business. In this lesson, you'll try to spot the emerging trends. The earliest source of information available to you are posts of runway photographs from some major fashion shows. You can start to see these about 6 months prior to the start of season. In real life, fashion planning starts even earlier, but using 6 months is more practical for educational purposes. Let's look at what's showing on the runway. All right, so that's what it's going to have us get started with. And then right here, once I've done that, it doesn't really say anything special for me at this time. So I'm going to choose the next button right down here. And now I'm ready for my next step. My next step, if you notice, it's going to give me instructions. Click Reports, Instatrend, and Runway. I'm going to come over here to the corner, Reports, Instatrend, and Runway. I'm going to go ahead and select that. Once I select it, I'm going to come on back and take a look at the rest of the directions. In this sim, Instatrend is a photo sharing social media site that people post to. Right now, there is only one post of a runway at a fashion show. To see more posts appear over time, click the Run To button and choose April 14th. Let the simulation run until the time stops. You'll see several new posts appear. Notice that the hashtag indicating that these trends are predicted for the upcoming fall-winter season. The number of likes is an indication of how your potential customers are responding to the trend. So let's go ahead and do that very quickly. So I'm going to come right over here. I'm going to slide this over my Instatrend, and where I find my Run To button is going to be right here at the top. So I'm going to choose Run To, and it says that I should select April 14th. And now here you can see that it starts to go. I can see that it's working from my time at the top. I can also see that I've got my clock, and I can also see right here on the right that my Instatrend is having more and more posts that are coming into that. I can also speed this up right here. Oh, it's not letting me speed it up today. Okay, very good. So now we're done. We made it to April 14th, and let's see what it's actually asking us to do. So now we have a question at the bottom. How many likes does Kara Worthington's post have? So let's take a look, pull this over, and Kara Worthington right here has 977 likes. So right here, I'm going to choose 977. Notice that it tells me in green that it's positive, or excuse me, that it's correct. It gives you a red X if it's not correct, and you can actually just choose again. Now I'm going to go ahead and choose next. So we're going to I'm not going to give you any more information from here because I would say at this point, you probably get the whole concept of what's going to happen. You're going to notice that there are 9 steps. At the end of 9 steps, it then says run the simulation. On run the simulation, you're only working on just the stuff that you learned how to do at this time. So while we're gone, you're more than welcome to complete as many of these lessons as you can, and we'll make sure that you get points that reflect the number of lessons that you complete. If you have any questions on this, please make sure that you reach out to your teacher, and we'll get all of your questions situated for you. Have a great day.